Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about the brand new record from In Flames, I The Mask, out March 1st on 11/7 Music in North America, and in the rest of the world is being distributed by Nuclear Blast. The album has 12 tracks and is 51 minutes in length. This is the band's lucky number 13 full-length album. Now, I truly believe for you to fully enjoy this record, you really have to go in with a clear mind. You really have to go in with absolutely no expectations whatsoever. If you sit down to listen to this record and you're hoping that the record sounds more like one specific single, or you're hoping that the record sounds more like one specific era of the band, I think you're going to be defrauded of your expectations. So I really believe that the best way to approach this record and get the full essence of the album, get the full enjoyment that the band really wanted you to have, is to go in with a clear mind, zero expectations, and then judge the album based on its own merits, not on how it compares to a single or how it compares to a specific era of the band. I really believe if you do that, you're already starting on the wrong foot and you're never going to really understand the concept of the album, the idea of the album, and what the band was trying to do. So, having said that, I really feel like this record is really broken down into two main components, one being the lyrics and the other one being the overall sound experience. As far as the lyrics are concerned, I really felt that the lyrics were very linear on this record. What I mean by that is that I felt that there was one overall topic that really touched on every single song. While every single song's lyrics are about something different, they all have a common denominator. So that makes the lyrics of the record feel very linear. There is a sense of continuity throughout the album as far as the topic of conversation, as far as the lyrics are concerned, as far as where they're trying to send you as far as a message. So from that perspective, I really felt that the lyrics of the album were linear and gave a different feel to the record. There wasn't much of straying from the beaten path, if you will. The album really touches on certain topics that are different, but they all have something in common. So that is kind of a glue that keeps this record together. And that is really important because the second component, which is the overall sound experience, is very different. You really have really different songs from song 1 to song 12. You really get a different array of styles, a different array of structures, a different array of genres, of approaches to how they created these songs. So the album itself, because it has a very eclectic sound, it has a very eclectic approach to the way they constructed the songs, it really needed something that kept them together. There was a need for a glue, and to me, that glue was the lyrics. The lyrics are really the common denominator that keeps this whole record together as one, while musically, the album is able to stray from the beaten path, is really able to go into different directions. They were really able to create songs that are very different in nature, that allows the record to have a certain fluidity musically and not be repetitive. You get songs that are heavier, a lot heavier, almost reminiscent of the first decade of In Flames. Then you have some that are more new In Flames, if you will. Then you have some that are more hard rock, and then you even have a couple of ballads in there. Specifically, there's one song called Follow Me, absolutely incredible ballad. I'll talk more about that in this review. So I really believe from a sound perspective, this record is really dynamic, but the lyrics are the glue that keeps everything together. Now, the album is not top heavy. The album is really well balanced. You don't get the majority of the better songs at the beginning of the record, and then as you get towards the end of the record, you get a little bit of a filler tracks, if you will. That's not the case on this record. The record is really well balanced. You really get strong songs from song 1 all the way to song 12. They did a really good job balancing the style of the songs so that you don't get songs that sound similar, that have a similar structure, following one after the other, so it would become a little bit repetitive. They did a very good job balancing out the record, balancing out the structure of the record in order to give the listener the best listening experience possible. I really feel that way. I really feel that the structure of the album is really conducive to have a really good listening experience because it allows for the songs to be different, it allows for the album to have a certain fluidity, and it allows for the listening experience to be a lot better. Overall, this is a very, I think if there's one word to describe the overall feel of this record, would be melodic. This album is super melodic, either from a music perspective or from a vocal perspective. Certain songs you get it from both ends, and in certain songs the vocal performance is really where the melody comes through, and in some areas the guitars, for example, bring a lot of melody to the table. Either way, to me, if there's one word to describe this album, melodic would be that word. Now, as far as favorite songs are concerned, I really had to pick 3 songs that were not the singles, that really spoke to me, that really had a little bit of an impact. I'm going to start with the first song on the record, Voices. I absolutely love this song, and I love the fact that they put this as the first song. I was kind of hoping that they would use one of the singles as the first track on the album. They didn't go that route, but this song kind of felt like it was one of the singles because it had a little bit of similar structures to I Am Above. It's not musically, it doesn't sound the same, but the structure of the way the song was put together, there are some similarities. And because of those similarities, it gave a sense of comfort going into the record, listening to a song that you hadn't heard before, but that you felt like you've heard before because the structure of the song was very similar to I Am Above. I really like this song. I really like the guitar riffs on this song. Really cool guitar melodies, especially around the chorus. The vocals also come in with a lot of melody. There is a little bit of harshness to it, but there's also a little bit of melody. It has that dynamic between verses and choruses that I really enjoy, where you get the more heavier portion of the song during the verses of the song, and you get the more melodic portion of the song during the chorus. It really creates a cool dynamic that really works well. And it also has a very cool synth, a melody in the background that is noticeable but not super noticeable. It doesn't come across as one of the main elements in the song, but if you're really paying attention to the details of this track, you can hear that synth in the background, that melody in the background that really adds a different layer to the song. It really adds a different melody to the song. It works well with the guitar because both of them have the same melody, so as they work together, they really give the song an elevated volume, if you will. Really enjoy this track. Great opening track for the record. Another one that I want to mention to you guys is Call My Name. This song is Riffpalooza. Tons of cool riffs, great sound from the guitar's perspective, really incredible song, something that you really expect from In Flames. It's like one of their trademark songs on this record, I believe. I really like what they did with the guitars. I like the dynamic between the sound of the drums and the sound of the guitars. It really creates a cool style between the two. The clean vocals used on this song really add melody to the heavier parts of the song. Here's a song that, like I mentioned before, where while you have a lot of melody from the guitars, this song overall is a bit heavier song, so the melody really comes from the vocals. The vocal style, the vocal delivery really gives the song a lot of melody, and to me that's really important. It really adds a different dynamic to the song. The screaming vocals towards the end of the track is the perfect finish for this song. A song that to me really has a lot of desperation in it, has a lot of anguish, if you will, in it, in its lyrics and in the delivery of those lyrics. So to have the song finish off with some screaming vocals, almost like a burst of energy, almost like you screaming out those feelings that have been bottled up inside, it was really the perfect cap to a song that throughout it just feels like it's building up towards something. It feels like it has a lot of built up emotion, a lot of built up anger and despair in it. And so those screaming vocals towards the end are the perfect outlet for that frustration, for that anger, and it really worked well with the dynamic that this song has. Last but not least, Follow Me. I mentioned this song earlier. This is an absolute incredible ballad. This song it really is, or it's going to be one of the great ballads of this year. I really like what the band did with this song. Incorporating acoustic guitars in this track was absolutely phenomenal. It really gave the song a stripped down vibe, a stripped down feel. It worked extremely well. They used it at the beginning of the track, but then they brought them back several times throughout the song. They really overused, but in a good way, the acoustic guitars in this song to really give the song an elevated element of melody, of melancholy, of pain and suffering, if you will. I really like what they did that. The solo in this song is also something that I have to mention because it was my absolute favorite solo on the whole record. It really added, it didn't break the flow of the song, and it didn't create a break within the song that it would have two different parts. No, the solo just added a lot of melody to the song. It added to that despair. It was almost like the guitar solo was an outlet for the emotions that the song was building up towards that moment. I really like that. It really added a sense of feeling. It added texture to the song. It really elevated the song to a whole new level. It really made the song 100 times better, and it really added to the fluidity that the song had. My favorite ballad, I mean, it's going to be perhaps one of my favorite ballads for the year. Absolutely blew me away. I was not expecting this kind of song on this record. It came towards the middle part of the record. So it kind of gave the listener a breather. It gave you a chance to relax from the album, take in a song that has a lot of emotion in it, but there's a lot of beauty in it at the same time, and to catch your breath to the second half of the record. Because this record is really dynamic, has a nice flow to it, but you still needed something in the middle that breaks the heaviness, that breaks from the pace that the album has, allows you to take a breather and then get ready for the second half of the album. Absolutely incredible ballad, incredible solo, one of my favorite songs on the album, if not my favorite song on the album. Alright guys, this is it for me. In Flames, I the Mask, out March 1st. Let me hear your thoughts on the singles, on the album, on the band. Use the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.